This is the 13th tutorial in the series of Final Cut Pro Beginner's Lessons. In the past lesson, you frequently looked at the inspector. This lesson will round out your knowledge of the inspector. Use your My First Edit project or follow from here. We've completed lesson 12. Click the eye above to access lesson 1 that has the details on how to download the course material. As you've seen in previous lessons, the inspector allows you to adjust the settings of clips in the timeline. Well, the inspector doesn't just work with the timeline. It'll also tell you about clips in the browser and more. Select a video clip in the browser. Click the tab with the eye in the white circle at the top of the inspector. And a tip, the tab that's currently selected in the inspector will be blue. You'll see information about how this clip was recorded, its format, as well as if it's optimized or a proxy file. At the bottom you can select more detailed views. Select Extended, and this is a good time to see how to view more of the inspector. Double-click the black bar at the top, to the right of the tabs. The view of the inspector lengthens. Now select a project in the browser. It's got a black and grey clapperboard above it. The I tab will allow you to modify the format of that project. Now click the Trident tab. If this project had been exported, you'd be able to see where it had been exported to. You'd be able to select Reveal in Finder, and that's really helpful when you've forgotten to where your project was previously saved on your computer. Let's review how you've used the inspector in previous lessons. Double-click the black bar at the top of the inspector to collapse it again. Now select the title The Winner in the timeline. You'll see at the top of the inspector 5 different tabs, and these will vary depending on what type of clip you've selected in the timeline. The T tab will appear when you've selected a title or a generator. Next is the Text tab, which will appear when there is text to adjust. You can change the words, the font, the settings, as well as the colour. Move down the inspector, click Show to the right of Face. Click the coloured rectangle, the colour wheels appear. Above Face is a checkbox for 3D text. If you'd like more information on that, click the eye above. The other tabs are best discussed with a photo as a connected clip. Click the playhead in the timeline above 16. Select one of the still images in the browser. Press Q. Make sure that the photo is selected in the timeline, and with the playhead over it, now select the Film Strip tab. At the bottom you can select Fill to the right of Spatial Conform. At the top of the inspector, the opacity slider is currently at 100%. Drag it to the left. You'll start to see the clip below showing through. Return it to 100%. Click on Normal in the blend mode, and there are a number of different options here to try out. The results will vary with different clips. Finally, for this session, I'll show you how to stabilize a shaky video. And as I've said in previous videos, there are no magic bullets, and this also applies to stabilization, but it will help improve an image. And once you've added stabilization, I'd suggest you review the results because the original unstabilized clips may be better anyway. In the timeline, select clip 17 at the beginning of the video. In the inspector, click the Film Strip tab. At the bottom, click Stabilization. And you'll see in the viewer, Analyzing for Dominant Motion will show for a moment. That's while the effect renders. This can be a lengthy process for long clips and slower computers. When you play this clip now, it'll be more stable. Object tracking in Final Cut Pro is simple to implement, but it does require you know where the settings are hidden. Let me show you. I'm going to have text follow the subject on the screen, and finally I'll show an easy way to pixelate and track a moving face. So let's look at the text following an object. I've dragged in a clip where a head moves around and hence will rotate the text as it follows. It's important that you know how to stabilise that rotation. To start, select the clip in the timeline and go to the Inspector's Film Strip tab. At the bottom, Trackers, with a plus sign to the right. Click the plus. It'll default to automatic, and for this exercise I'm not going to go into the other settings. In the viewer, there's a grid that can be adjusted. The top left changes to a circle shape, the orange dots resize the grid, and any outer edge will make it smaller. And the idea here is to get the size of the grid to just cover the object that you want to follow, without covering any background. Be aware though that the object you're tracking needs to be in frame for the whole clip, though it will allow for very short times out of view. At the top left of the viewer is Analyze. If you don't see it, click the Transform button. Click the word and the whole clip is analysed. First forward from the position of the playhead and then back to the beginning of the clip. Now I'll add a title and link that to the analysed clip. I'll use the custom title. Select it in the timeline and drag it to a suitable position in the viewer. Right-click in the viewer and select Transform. You'll see a new option at the top of the viewer. Click the downward chevron and select Object Track. The tracking information is now transferred to the title and you can play it. And note here that the text not only moves with the face, but it also rotates as the face does. And it's not obvious how to stop that, so you need to remember this step. Make sure you've got the title selected in the timeline with the Inspector Film Strip icon and have that selected, and then hover to the right of Transform. You'll see a new button where rotation can be selected. Untick it as it comes on by default. Now you need to go back to the text and position it horizontally at the beginning of the clip, so it stays horizontal right throughout the clip. And finally, I'll show you how easy it is to track a pixelated face without even having to select a tracker. Select Pixelate in the Effects browser and drag it over the face. It automatically recognises it's a face and adds the grid just over the face. You don't have to resize it. All you have to do is analyse and play. And perhaps turn up pixelization. I'm not going to discuss the audio and the colour tabs in this exercise as they were done in detail in lessons 11 and 12, that's audio and colour. And the next will give you a taste of keyframing. That's how you animate images in Final Cut Pro. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and press the bell.